love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just give me the don't be scared. Crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me the don't be scared. Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Cause I just wanna hear it out your mouth, yeah. Give me fuel, it's a tool that I use to go ahead and run my mouth, yeah. I take shots, I take loss, I make shots, I miss lots. That's how you get big box, you get yachts, you swing lots and pop off a big shot. I ain't done chasing, got big dreams, bigger things, impatient. Who's at the top think they need replacement? Who's at the top think I'm gonna erase them? Face it, I don't give up quick, I don't give up shit, I won't give up this. Cause I know that I want it, know that I'm on it, I'll make it, I promise. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative, I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. Lonely now, I'll give up everything. Daunting though, if I could see my dreams, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting love. If I can see my dream, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Lonely now, I'll give up everything, daunting love. If I can see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, don't let go, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
What's shaking, Titans fan? I want to take the time just to thank everybody for tuning in live to What's Shaking Titans. I am your host of tonight's show, Gary Bailey. Hopefully my sister April will be able to join us live here soon. But I see the chat popping off and getting me fired up and really excited to break down today's episode. We got a lot of great topics to unpack for y'all here today. So without further ado, let's hop into this head first. First off, let me slow down. Let me stop. I want to take the time just to say I hope everybody's having a wonderful and blessed day. Just want to once again thank you for taking the time to tune in. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, please take this time to hit the like button as well as hit the subscribe button. Turn on notifications to get the latest from What's Shaking Titans. I am muffing everything up, so forgive me. I will get back on track here in just a second. If you're watching us right now live on Facebook, please take this time to share us out right now to your friends, share us on your Facebook page, share us in all your groups. Sharing is caring, man. Share us out. We appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune in. All right, guys, so we're going to start today out with some breaking news. It was reported today that Harold Landry tore his ACL during practice yesterday. Harold Landry will be out for the remainder of the year. Of course, ACL tear is not good. And real quick, I want to kind of go into our comments here. Lee from the 615 podcast, he goes right here and he says that I hate that Harold Landry is lost for the season. Man, and honestly, bro, I couldn't agree with you more there. it sucks. It really, really sucks. Losing Harold Landry is a major loss for the Tennessee Titans, on defense. Because Harold Landry was such a huge part of that front end, or sorry, the defensive front. He was a huge part of their success. So it really sucks that we lost him for the season. My question is, for everyone watching live right now, is with the loss of Harold Landry, do y'all think that will affect the Titans' overall record? Does it change your overall record prediction now that we know we do not have Harold Landry to assist the Titans at all this year? Let me know right now in the comment, guys, what y'all think. And I want to kind of go back to our comments. I want to bring in a good friend of the show, Lee from the 615 podcast. Man, I'm really glad to see you active again, buddy. I hope everything's going well with you, but let's bring up your comment here. He says, Vols up 52-7 fourth quarter at home against Ball State. Whoa, that's crazy. The Vols are just laying it on thick, aren't they? Man. All right, and then he also says Harold Landry is a vital piece of the dominant pass rush last season. Oh, yeah. And losing him this season, man, like, I don't know what the Titans are going to do. But you would hope that some of these extra people they have, like Chestnut and all the other extra people who made the roster who none of us thought would make the roster, you would think that, this would give them room to kind of drop some of them and hopefully maybe trade and get somebody or pick somebody off of waiver wires. But the only problem with that is who are we going to find that is going to be able to fill the shoes of Harold Landry? Real quick, I want to go to our comments. Another good friend of the show, the Power Hour, Michael Bishop. He says, hello, Gary and April. Studio microphone. Yes, sir. I hope I'm coming in pretty clear for y'all. I was having problems during our live game, post-game coverage video of the Arizona Cardinals and Tennessee Titans. I kept coming in from break, and I'd leave my mic muted and not realize till after 2 drives had already been over. It was so bad, but you live, you learn, you improve. So Michael, man, I want to thank you for taking the time to tune in to What's Shaking Titan. I hope everything's going well over there at the Power Hour. Let me know real quick. I just asked a question. Do you think the loss of Harold Landry will change, or does it change your overall prediction for this season? Let me know if the loss of Harold Landry changes your overall prediction for this season. And while y'all do that, guys, I'm going to go to a quick break. As y'all know, when I started this, I was saying that my sister is currently not on with us, so I'm going to try and get her on real quick. And if we're not able to, that's all right, guys. We'll continue to push through here, and we'll get this episode out for y'all. I want to take the time just to thank everybody for tuning in to What's Shaking Titans. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, please take the time to hit the subscribe button, as well as turn on all notifications to get the latest from What's Shaking Titans. Give us a big old thumbs up. That will help us out with the YouTube algorithm. That way more people get to see our video, and we'll pop up more often. And if you're watching us right now on Facebook, first of all, I just want to thank everybody who tunes in to us on Facebook, because Facebook has been really taking off for us. Y'all, everyone out there who responds to all of our posts and videos, I just want to gratefully and humbly thank y'all. Y'all really keep me motivated and into wanting to do this. So I want to take the time just to thank everybody. So if you're watching us on Facebook, what you can do to help us grow even more is share us right now. Share us on your Facebook page. Share us to all your groups in your groups. Share us to all your friends in your messenger. Sharing is caring. The more you share us out, the more people will get to see us and know about us. And before we go on break, I want to throw in the Power Hour real quick. And he says, J-Rob will start calling FA guys the next few days. Jason Pierre, that's a name I haven't really thought of in a long time. I think the last time I really thought of his name was his accident he had with the firework. But yeah, he used to be something really good. Hadn't really followed him too much lately, so I'm not sure how he's been playing. So if you know how kind of productive he is, please let me know. And then he goes on to say he would be a nice fit, add some veteran experience in the locker room, as well as, let's see here, I think he was saying if I was J-Rob, I'd look at someone like former Colts defensive lineman Kamoko Trey. I know I'm botching that names, guys, so don't beat me up. I'm terrible with names. That is usually my sister's strength, and she's not here right this second. So anyway, or former Chargers and Colts and current Browns PS defensive lineman Isaac Rochelle, or however you would say that last name, guys. Don't botch me or beat me up over these names. Very curious to see who the Titans add to kind of fill those shoes, because we're going to have to add somebody. It is definitely a major loss that we are hearing live today. It was broken around 3 o'clock that officially by the Tennessee Titans that Harold Landry was out due to a torn ACL that he suffered in yesterday's practice. So with all that being said, guys, I'm going to go to a quick break real quick, and I will be joining y'all back live in just a few moments. Thank everybody for tuning in, and we will be right back with y'all.
Aftermath, when I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just give me up.
Need a mobile home moved, re-leveled, siding, skirting, or in-home repairs? Call Blackhawk Mobile Service and Repairs, located in Dixon, Tennessee, but can travel all over the state. Call 615-804-6175. That's 615-804-6175. Ask for Quincy and get a quote today. Join us live every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for an all-new episode of What's Shaking Titans.
Say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong. I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth. Can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about. Have your cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round. I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 Cause I just want to hear it out your mouth, yeah.
All right, everybody, what's going on? So I do have confirmation from my sister. She has lost internet at her house. So she is having troubles getting that up and going again. So hopefully she'll be able to get that up and going and join us very soon. And, you know, we can unpack this even further for y'all. Real quick, just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to What's Shaking Titans. If you're watching us right now on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, as well as turn on notifications to get the latest from What's Shaking Titans. Give us a big old like. That will help us out with the YouTube algorithm. That way more people get to see our video and we'll pop up more often. If you're watching us live on Facebook right now, share us out right now on your Facebook page. Share us to all your groups on Facebook. Share us to all your friends in your messenger. Sharing is caring. The more you share us out, the more people will get to hear about us and see us, and the more you help us grow. I want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in. With all that being said, guys, we were just talking about the loss of Harold Landry. We have some more comments on that, and I want to bring those up real quick. So Lee from the 615 podcast, he says, if I was Dre Rob, or that was Lee who said that. I thought that was Power Hour who said that. My bad. That was Lee who said that earlier, guys. So forgive me for that botch. And then Lee also said, but don't sleep on Rashad Weaver. Yeah, you know, Weaver is definitely a good, suitable player for the Tennessee Titans. I think he could be somebody who could be productive. I think it kind of goes back to what Vrabel was talking about with Treylon Burks is, you know, the more consistent you are in practice, you know, the more consistent you'll eventually be in games. But you have to be able to bring that level of consistency that you have in practice and production that you have in practice over into a live game situation. And, you know, if Rashad Weaver can ever, you know, find that, I think he will be definitely a good fit or a good suitable replacement, you know, to fill in those shoes. So for everybody who wasn't with us, we are currently talking about the loss of Harold Landry. Harold Landry had torn his ACL yesterday in practice. This news being broke today by the Tennessee Titans. Let me know right now, does the loss of Harold Landry change y'all's overall prediction for this season? I'm going to let y'all know right now. Yes, this does change my overall record prediction for the Tennessee Titans. Real quick, I want to go see what the 615 podcast said, and Lee said the way you practice is the way you'll play. Yeah, man, and that's so true. You know, if and anything you do in life, man, what you put in is what you get out. You know, we're going through a class right now at church. We go to Compassion Church in Dixon, Tennessee. If y'all don't have a home church, or if you are seeking, you know, that, you know, you don't have to live in Dixon. We also have a online church. You can check us out live you can check our church out live every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. And I'm probably getting this second time wrong. I think it's 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., and 11:15 a.m. And we have 3 services each Sunday, and check them out, man. It's awesome. It's a great experience, great environment. Our church have a lot of people who run the online side of things. So, if you're needing prayer for anything, they will definitely help you out with that. So definitely check them out. And that's Compassion Church in Dixon, Tennessee. But anyway, we're going through a class there called Freedom. And one of the first things that you learn in this class is, you get what you put in. If you get out what you put in, and it's like that even in everything, but in this, if you apply yourself to what you're learning and you actually apply it in your life and you seek that change, then it will happen. But if you just want the change but never apply it, nothing's gonna happen, and that goes in anything you do. So you gotta apply yourself. Sorry for the little church rant, or not sorry, but sorry we got off topic there, but definitely not sorry for the church rant though. If anybody out there is needing help, or anything, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll try and get y'all linked up with somebody in our church and share, I'll share a link with to our actual Sunday church service on Sunday online on Facebook and YouTube. Like I said, all you have to do is go on Facebook or YouTube and search Compassion Church. So with all that being said, Lee from the 615 podcast says, you reap what you sow. And yeah, that's so true. In anything, man, like, when I started this podcast, if I sat down and never put time into it, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And I'm sure it's the same way with y'all. And just like it's like that for us and our podcast, it's the same way for these football players. If they don't apply themselves and what they're learning, on practice and in the film room, and they're not applying it on the field, then what's the point? Yeah. That's why they talk about people, like once you get to a certain age, people start losing that passion or that fire, or the game kind of goes away from them. And that's kind of what it is. You stop that, you kind of start losing that desire after a while. I mean, that in your body, after playing so long in the NFL isn't the same. But, that desire and passion to want to keep applying yourself is, not there. So real quick, guys, I got my sister April calling, so we're going to answer that. I'm going to mute my mic real quick. Just give me 1 second. All right, everybody. So I got my sister April joining us through via phone call right now. So we are sorry for the technical difficulties we are having. But, like I said, we are working on getting an official studio set up to where, none of this is a problem. And, we'll be able to come live to y'all, without any hopefully interference or inconvenience of technology. All right, so April, we were talking about the loss of Harold Landry, and we have the 615 podcast, Lee and Michael Bishop from the Power Hour in here talking about some suitable players that they see being people that John Robinson could sign. We also asked the question if you think the loss of Harold Landry, or I asked the question as, does the loss of Harold Landry change your overall record prediction? So could you kind of maybe let us know on some of those, how you feel?
No, I don't think said it's going to change the record prediction at all. I actually see Weaver coming in and stepping up and doing a good job. Also, I don't, in free agency, Pierre Paul is still available, so I wouldn't be surprised if John Robinson went towards him. He's sort of kind of like that landry player, so I don't see it being too big of an issue now.
Yes, and hey guys, real quick, let me know if y'all can hear her good right now, or if I need to adjust something. If y'all could let me know in the comments real quick, that'd be awesome. And also, Lee from the 615 podcast, he says Vols up 59-7, and then he also said I'll go from 13 wins to 12 wins. So, Lee, are you able to hear April on the phone good? Could you let me know real quick? So, April, what do you think? What do you think about the official roster?
I'm not surprised. I think everybody ended up exactly where they should be. I am a little bit. Not really surprised. Just kind of like we picked him back up for practice squads on Woodside, but I think they're just comfortable with him and they're not ready to go away from him yet. So I actually like what's going on. I was surprised that Gordon was signed to the practice squad and not to the actual team. So other than that, not too many big surprises there.
Yeah, and a lot of those will be breaking down later on in the episode too. But yeah, to kind of touch off what you were saying, my initial opinion of the 53-man roster was I was surprised we kept Chestnut. I really was. I mean, in a way I wasn't, because I kind of called that we would keep him, especially after seeing the way he bounced back from adversity right after his first game and that fumble. The way he bounced back was awesome. Real quick, I'm going to give a quick shout out to the 615 podcast. He said I can hear it good enough, but I can hear the music more. Oh, do we have music on? Hang on, let me adjust something here. All right, guys. Hopefully. All right. So let me know if you can still hear any music in the background. And then Mason Kinsey should have made it over Racey McMath, is what Lee says. Yeah, that is somebody who I was pretty shocked they let go of. Was Mason Kinsey. I thought, he showed a pretty decent growth throughout the preseason.
Well, and they did re-sign Mason to the practice squad, which was hopeful. But, yeah, I was kind of like looking at those moves, and I was kind of like, you could really just trade one in out for the other.
Yeah, and something else is I would say that I'm sorry, I just drew a blank. Been doing this all day, guys. To kind of talk about what you were talking about, Logan Woodside, real quick, because Malik Willis is going to be our next topic. But to kind of talk about Logan Woodside, 17. I believe it was 17 of the 21 people who we let go ended up coming back on the practice squad, or 11 or somewhere around in there. So that was I'm really shocked that happened. I didn't see us bringing back a lot of them. I thought maybe we reach out to other people and maybe see if we could bring in, someone else to maybe compete in practice squad, on the practice squad, to try and work their way up to the official 53-man roster. But, however, when we talk about Logan Woodside, you know, I called this from game one. I straight out said Logan Woodside was going to be our QB2 this year. You know, and a lot of people disagreed with me, especially, you know, before the first preseason game and even right after the first preseason game. Well, then the second preseason game happened and everybody started seeing the development that I figured was going to happen. And then you see what happened between the second preseason game to the third preseason game, where Malik was a completely different quarterback. And if you go to the official Tennessee Titans Facebook page, YouTube page, Twitter page, there is a video. It was Kevin Byard mic'd up during the game. And one of the things Kevin Byard kept saying about Malik Willis is this guy breathes Steve McNair. He is resembling Steve McNair to the T out there. I mean, there is a play that Steve McNair did where he got hit low in the Super Bowl and his feet got shoved out from underneath him, and Steve McNair caught himself with one hand, pushed himself up, and was able to throw for a completed pass. And Malik, I think it was in the second preseason game. It might have been the first, but it could have been the second. But there's a play where Malik got hit low, almost similar to that, and his feet got knocked completely backwards out from underneath him, and he catches himself, same arm, on the same side of the field that McNair was, pushed himself up, and threw a pass all the way to the back of the end zone like it was nothing. Now, the pass ended up incomplete, but still, to see that again, it got me really excited. And I think a lot of the Titans players are excited because they can see that too. So I want to go to our hang on, guys. Let me get this adjusted for us. We're having some more technical difficulties. I'm going to go to a quick break, and I'll be right back.
Being incompetent, mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable. Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help.
Need a mobile home moved, re-leveled, siding, skirting, or in-home repairs? Call Blackhawk Mobile Service and Repairs, located in Dixon, Tennessee, but can travel all over the state. Call 615-804-6175. That's 615-804-6175. Ask for Quincy and get a quote today. Join us live every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Central Time and 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for our all-new episode of What's Shaking Titans. What's going on, everybody? We are back live with y'all here. I am currently now joined officially with my sister April. So April, how are you doing? How are you doing, April? Can you hear me?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm awesome. So, all right, guys, we're going to go to our comments real quick. We got a bunch of comments rolling in here. Let me get the music stopped. All right, music is stopped. Lee from the 615 podcast, he said, I knew that Logan Woodside wouldn't make the roster. Yeah. And that goes, back to the whole, back to my rant. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you, comments. Thank you, Jesus. All right, here we go. Back to my Logan Woodside rant. But you clearly seen the growth and the definitely the development out of Malik Willis. And then when you watch the way Logan Woodside performed versus the very first time he performed in a preseason, which when his first preseason with us, remember there were 4 preseason games, so he even had an extra game. But you could clearly tell that something was going on with Logan Woodside, and that he was struggling. All of his passes, well, not all of them, but the majority of his passes were short of the receiver, or 4 or 5 feet over the head of the receiver. It was just a crazy play. And meanwhile, you have Music City Malik sitting there balling out, who went on to have one of the best rookie performances out of all the rookies this in the preseason. And, I think that's a testament to who Malik Willis is as a quarterback, who he is as a human being, his character, his work ethic, to see that growth. This is somebody who, when he was drafted, need I remind everybody, national media and everyone, including half the Titans fan base, sat there and said that Malik Willis would not be QB2 or QB3 material until years down. Everybody wanted him on the practice squad or QB3 behind Logan. And, I called it from the start. I said, he's going to be right there backing up Tannehill. And if Tannehill starts to choke up this season, don't be surprised if they put Malik out there. I know that might be hard for a lot of, Titan fans, or maybe even Ryan Tannehill fans. But, if Malik keeps developing at that rate that he developed between just 3 games to, from the start of, who was it we played in it was the Ravens, right? Our first preseason game. So yeah, the Ravens was our first preseason game all the way to the Arizona Cardinals. Lights out. Like, not the same QB. The first game, you could see it. He was scared in the pocket. He was nervous. His head was all over the place. That second game, you seen him settle into the pocket. You see him starting to make those throws. You seen a little bit of hesitation, and you seen him still running out of the back of the pocket. That third game, what you seen was no longer a quarterback looking to run to make plays. You seen a passer of the ball. And Malik Willis has an arm, and yes, I'm saying this, an arm that is unlike any other quarterback in the NFL. Even Patrick Mahomes. Yes, Patrick Mahomes has those really awesome throws that he has, but the way Malik Willis can throw the ball with literally any arm angle at any second, that touchdown pass to Treylon Burks was phenomenal, And he had a defender right in his face. And how on God's green earth was he able to see that person? I have no idea. But he had the perfect sidearm angle, coming in at the right angle, delivered that ball at the right spot, and it was a touchdown. So, guys, before we let April tell her opinion, let's get caught up in the comments. Sandy Bailey says, hello, guys. She also says, shout out to the 615 podcast. And then Lee from the 615 podcast said thank you. And Sandy Bailey is our mom, by the way, so thank you, Mom, for tuning in. And he was saying he agrees with the whole Logan Woodside and Malik Willis thing. Then my wife, Tennessee Kid 90, she said tighten up. Thank you, babe, for taking the time to tune in here with us today. Hope you're enjoying all of the content you're getting. And then Lee from the 615 podcast says, I agree 100% that Malik Willis looks like McNair. Yeah, man, does he not? I mean, if he don't flash Air McNair, I don't know what you were watching when Air McNair was playing with us, but it wasn't Titans football. Sandy Bailey says, shout out to my daughter April and my son Gary. And he said Woodside knew his days were numbered. Yeah, oh yeah, he you could tell the way he was playing. And I mean that, like John Robinson said in the press conference, was it I can't remember if that press was. I think it was yesterday. Where he kind of talked about the development of Malik Willis. You know, how he developed not only throughout the games but before the games in training camp. Because let me tell you, Malik Willis had the second QB job before the start of preseason. And if you think otherwise, you're a fool. Because that kid had already won it. He went in there and he was showing, like, what we seen on the field is literally those sidearm passes. He's making them constantly in practices. Now, yeah, he still has a lot of development and work to do, but he is in the perfect situation now, sitting behind Tannehill. And if Tannehill goes down, I don't doubt for 1 second that Malik Willis can hop in and take us to a W. Sandy says, "Oop, Mitt, the 615 podcast, thank you." And then Malik is looking good right now. Malik looked night and day from preseason to week 1 to week 3. Yeah, I agree. And then Sandy Bailey also says, "I was not happy that they cut our punter. He was good." Yeah, Brett Kern. It was reported that his father was on a radio show out in Buffalo, and he got on there because they were asking him about the possibility of Brett coming over there. He said there's no way. He said that Brett is staying off of any teams, or not going to be receiving any calls because the Titans have asked him to stay to hold out just in case their new punter don't work out. They can easily go back after him. But let's keep our fingers crossed that Stonehouse does work out. And I know a lot of people are emotionally attached to Brett Kern, but we also got to think about the future here. Brett Kern is, April, if you can correct me, or if I'm wrong on this, please correct me, 13 years with the Titans? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, 13 years with the Titans. He's getting up there in age. And, eventually there's going to be that wall. Father Time is undefeated unless your name is Tom Brady. But, I'm sure he's going to be knocking soon for him too. Before we go any further, I want to give my sister time to kind of talk, because I have been going and ranting. So, April, if you want to take the floor and talk about Logan Woodside and Malik Willis and what you think about Malik getting the job and just the whole 9 yards.
Well, first I want to say congratulations to Malik. I am a fan of Malik, even though what I'm about to say may sound contrary to the fact. I am glad that he got the second, QB position. Of course, we knew what we had in Woodside. We knew he probably wasn't going to be second. I don't know what the Titans see in Woodside that they want to keep him around and not just completely let him go. I don't understand why he keeps being signed. I think we've signed him 3 different times to the practice squad now. We've let him go, sign him, let him go, sign him. I don't even think we did Rusty that much. We know Rusty, I think, was signed like 2 or 3 times, and then he was let go. Actually, 1 or 2 times, sorry, and then he was let go. So we have definitely signed Woodside now. I think just through the counting, this will be the 4th time that he's been on our practice squad. That being said, and congratulations to Malik, like I said, and I'm glad that he's made these improvements in leaps and bounds, so don't get me wrong on that. However, I want to be careful. I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid. During training camp, that's exactly what it is. It's training camp. He's going to have the extra attention, the extra reps, and all of that stuff to develop him. That's why they were giving him so many reps. If you look back at the press conferences, they kept saying they're giving him all his reps during preseason because they know that during the season he's not going to have time to develop. So let's not get to where we want him to come in for Tannehill. Let's be clear, okay? Our best chance of getting anywhere right now is with Tannehill, even if Tannehill does not put on his helmet. Because Tannehill, he's just been there. Am I going to be pissed off if he doesn't put on his helmet on the first game? Yes, I am. I'm not going to call for Malik Willis, though, because I want Malik Willis to have this time to develop. I do not want a Vince Young situation where, we're so excited for him to come in and then he doesn't have time to develop and then we ruin him as a quarterback. I don't want that. So, with that being said, I mean, like I said, I am happy that he won the second job and all that stuff, but that's exactly what it is. It's a second. We do not want Tannehill hurt. That would still be a devastating blow to our team. We do not want Tannehill benched, because either way, that's a really bad season for the Titans. Let's be clear now, regardless of what you may think. Okay?
So
he needs a year to develop.
So I agree 100% that Malik definitely needs all the development that he can get. But I want to be really clear on this too. What Malik Willis showed us is that right now he can get in there and win us games. Right now. So
right now he can get in there and win us games against other teams with second string players. You got to think about, if he goes into an NFL game right now, he's not going to be playing against.
No, I get that, but still,
he's going to be playing against the Aaron Donalds. Okay,
I get that, but still, I get what you're saying 100%, and that's your opinion, and you have every right and obligations to those opinions. Now, at the same, my thoughts and my opinions are, if, knock on wood, something happened to Tannehill and he goes down for a game, 2 games, or 3 games, I think right now we are in good hands. If something was to happen, we would be able to get out of those 3 games decently. I do feel that. And,
if we did, it would be because of Derrick Henry.
I disagree. I disagree, because once you add Derrick Henry into and that brings up a whole nother thing, because the Derrick Henry effect is real. The Malik Willis effect was real. You add both of them together and you're adding in a recipe that defenses aren't not going to be able to address, because if you go to hand the ball, if you
him play in an actual NFL game against actual NFL people like your
he can do it though. He showed he can handle the progress.
Don't have proof that he can.
So I'm just saying,
there's no proof in the pudding.
That's fine.
Proof in the pudding.
That's fine, and that's your opinion. But in my opinion, I think right now that hands down Malik Willis, if Tannehill goes down, has every right, and not only every right, but can go in there and win us those games. Hands down, no problem. It's that's my opinion. I know you disagree, but that's definitely my opinion there. I feel like Malik Willis is definitely a QB2. He is probably one of the better QB2s right now in the NFL. And that's just my honest opinion. Out of everybody from this draft, Malik Willis had the best preseason performance. Now, yes, let's grant it, that is preseason, like my sister said. You can't put all your eggs into one basket on preseason. But I do have to say, what Malik Willis showed us is that, he's something special. Okay? And, he is having that time to develop right now. He is developing right now. It's not something that's going to take a full year. This kid has developed. Now, the progress that he's made in 3 weeks, okay? Just alone in 3 weeks. People said he wouldn't be able to make that progress until next year. They said that he would be practice squad or QB3 until next year because he has so much development to do. And then all of a sudden,
I don't think that's what people meant. I think they knew that he was going to make progress. However, they're saying in order to start against actual NFL starters, not preseason, second round, second stream, same level players, actual NFL players.
I-
Your Aaron
yeah.
Donalds, okay?
Well, I mean,
Your-
and
your
let's
big defensive players.
let's face
He
it though.
needs to be under
Even
that pressure,
even
that
in
is what they were
in
saying.
our
He needs the development for. 'Cause
yes,
it's
and he's been he even
tough.
got some of that with against actual starters against Carolina or not Carolina, yeah, the Arizona Cardinals. You know,
Okay,
he got some. Well, look at what the Cardinals did
So
to
what
our starters
starters-
last
what
year.
starters-
Look what they
what
did to Ryan
starters did-
Tannehill.
What starters did they play though? What starters did they play?
They played some of their defensive starters. I don't know because I'm
Well,
not some
I
of them.
can't- I can't tell you the-
I said from the very beginning some, not all, some. They did play some of their defensive starters. They played some of their defensive fronts. They played some of their safeties. And Malik did phenomenal with it. And real quick, I want to go to our comments here. We got Lee from the 615 podcast. He said, there are so many wrinkles with Malik and Derek in the running game and passing game. Yes, and that's exactly the point I was making earlier, is when you add Malik to Derrick Henry, Malik gives you something that Ryan Tannehill can't even give Derrick Henry. You know, and that is... The defense is going to not only worry about Malik being able to sling that gun or sling that ball and make those accurate passes, but they're also going to have to worry about his legs.
I disagree with that because Ryan Tannehill also has some very long.
Ryan Tannehill does not have the playmaking ability or athleticism that
So he hasn't ran any touchdowns.
that Malik
hasn't ran any-
he
made
he
any
is
running
not
plays?
he is not Malik Willis, April, and you know that.
I'm not saying he's not.
He's not Malik Willis. He is not Steve McNair. He's not even Vince Young.
Steve McNair.
Okay.
Okay, Malik Willis is Malik Willis.
Yes, I know that. And my point is though, is Steve McNair was more productive at running the ball and was decent at passing the ball. Now Tannehill, yes, he has ran the ball, but he's not really known as a runner of the ball.
And that's also can be a good thing.
And I'm
When he does run the ball and he runs it productively.
But yeah, okay, but here's the thing: is that with Tannehill though, you're gonna get into the playoffs. You're gonna have the biggest game, and what's he gonna do? The same thing he's done the last 3 seasons, and he's gonna throw us out of the game.
But we can't say Malik won't do that because we
And
haven't seen
yeah,
Malik do
you're right, but I've never said Malik would, and I never said Malik over Tannehill. I said right now that Malik Willis is a confident bet at QB2, and that if something happened to Tannehill, that Malik Willis can go in and win us those games. And
I don't think he can win them.
and a lot of people who are doubting Malik are all the people who doubted Malik and said Malik wouldn't get the QB2 spot. And so that's perfectly fine, you know, because if you pay attention to what you see and you're looking at the growth of a player, if you watch the progress from how he grew from where he first played in that first preseason game, the way he looked, even the way his head was looking when he was looking through his progressions to where he was at game 2, where his head wasn't shaky as much. He wasn't constantly jarting his head around. He was more focused. To game 3, where he looked like a starting NFL QB on that field. And you, if you haven't watched it,
that game afterwards, but I did not think that he looked like a starting.
I don't know what you're watching then, because he looked like a starting QB on that field. And if you don't agree with that,
I mean,
then
he grew.
First
from
of all,
game one to
no.
game
First,
two, game
first of
three,
all,
game
Game three would not have been won if it was not for Malik Willis. The way our offensive line was playing, had Logan Woodside been on that field, we would not have won that game. That game was won off the legs and arms and pure talent of Malik Willis. And you've seen that development as a quarterback. And he did look like a starting quarterback in that game. You know, that's what helped him win that job.
No, he won that job, like you said, before he even started preseason. So which one is it?
Well, I don't know. I'm not John Robinson. So I'm just saying, though. But, for real, though, like, I get that you're not all that in on Malik Willis, and you really didn't want him to be. But you didn't. You don't have to drink the Kool-Aid. He's a backup QB. We're talking about him if he has to come in off of a injured Ryan Tannehill. If Tannehill goes out one game and can't finish us that game, you're telling me. You're telling me
not wanting Tannehill. We're talking about not wanting to have that situation. Period. Because
you don't want that situation. Okay, I'm telling you that if that situation does occur, I have every bit of confidence in Malik Willis to win us that game. And I know you don't, but that's okay. That's where we defer in opinions. But with all that being said, guys, we're going to go to a quick break. And then when we come back, guys, we're going to be unpacking the rest of this episode with some awesome topics for y'all. So just stay tuned and we'll be right back. Need a mobile home moved, re-leveled, siding, skirting, or in-home repairs? Call Blackhawk Mobile Service and Repairs located in Dixon, Tennessee, but can travel all over the state. Call 615-804-6175. That's 615-804-6175. Ask for Quincy and get a quote today. Join us live every Thursday on Facebook and YouTube at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for an all-new episode of What's Shaking Titans. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into What's Shaking Titans. I do apologize for the camera change just really quick right there. I was messing around on the keyboard and shot it over the cameras and messed it up. But anyway, I apologize for that. So, guys, real quick, I want to take the time just to thank everybody who's tuned in live with us right now, everybody who's commenting, everybody who's watching live on YouTube and Facebook. Excuse me. So if you're watching us live right now on YouTube, please take this time to hit the subscribe button. If you're not yet already subscribed to the channel, turn on the notifications to get the latest from What's Shaking Titans, as well as give us a big old thumbs up. That will help us out with the YouTube algorithm. That way more people get to see our video. We'll pop up more often. If you're watching us live on Facebook, share us out to your Facebook page. Share us to all your groups. Share us to all your friends and your messengers. Sharing is caring. The more you share us out, the more we're able to grow. We would want to take the time just to thank everybody who tunes in. We love all the support. We love all you guys. So I'm going to bring my sister in here. Guys, we got, I think, 2 more topics we're going to break down for y'all here real quick. The Tennessee Titans are currently tied with the Houston Texans for the most rookies on the team. They are both tied with 11 rookies on the team. What do you think that says about the state and the future of the Tennessee Titans? Let us know right now in the comment how you feel and what you think. April, how do you feel and what do you think about, having those many rookies? Do you think it says something particular about the Titans roster or future?
It's all a business deal. They have some longevity at these positions now because, they've got the rookies coming in, but they also have some good trade subsequents. So, pretty much they're like, if we keep this many rookies on here, we can put so many for trade. Then we have so many that we actually think that we can build into good players for their contract money situation without overpaying them and having an AJ situation. So I think that, it was really good, smart business moving on John Robinson's behalf, and we'll see if it pays off. It was definitely a risk.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was a risk having that many rookies. You know, this was of course talked about by a lot of people, also on other podcasts as well, and it just kind of I wanted to bring it up because I think it says something a little more about the state of the Tennessee Titans and the future. I think that they are sensing that we are nearing the end of the Tannehill stretch, as well as a lot of our veteran players. I think Lil Juan's probably getting close to maybe his end time with the Titans. Hopefully he can bounce back and be very productive for the Tennessee Titans this year. And not go down from injury.
Lawan is actually the most tenured person on the team right now. So
Yes.
he's been with the team the longest out of everyone on the team.
Yeah. So I do think I do think right now that Taylor Lewan is definitely not going anywhere. He's definitely safe. I mean, we obviously don't have any more starters at right tackle. Or sorry, not right tackle, but left tackle. And the struggles that we have on our offensive line, of course, he's safe. But, in the future, I think this is, probably the Titans maybe just kind of preparing everybody for that reset that everybody is talking about. If they kind of start hitting that reset now, then when those reins are handed over to the next generation of players, it might not be such a big transaction, or transition for them or for the team. It might not make that big of a change in the overall production or record of the team. But I definitely think it says something of getting ready for a restructure, or if not along the lines of a restructure. They're trying to find people to.
Speaking of restructure, I noticed something else that's very interesting. And I feel like we're all focused on the quarterback situation, which is a no-brainer. Tannehill's our starter this year. Who knows about the future? We'll have to see. They do have this crazy obsession with him, like they had this crazy obsession with Woodside, so he may stick around a lot longer than we think. But they restructured Derrick Henry's deal. Okay? They actually gave him more money for the 2022 season. However, they did not extend him. Okay? This could be the last year we see Derrick Henry as a Titan. And I know that we are not ready for life after Derrick Henry, but we were not ready for life after Eddie George either. And we have kept 5 running backs. Okay? And I kind of put out there that I was going to talk about this a little bit. Why I think that they would have kept 4 running backs behind Henry instead of the average 3. I think this is going to be an unpopular and very, very wild prediction. I think this could be Derrick Henry's last year in Tennessee. I think we could trade him in another very big trade like AJ.
Wow, yeah, that's a pretty big statement there. I know that, of course, a lot of people is going to disagree with that. Real quick, let's see what Lee from the 615 podcast says. He says, bam, right here. He says, there are so many wait, no, sorry, that's old. Scratch that. I thought that was something new popped up. My bad, guys. He did say something, but I can't get it to pop up here. So if y'all give me just 1 second, let me see if I can't get it popped up. Okay, I can't get that comment to come up for some reason, but there it is. Nope. Yeah, I can't get it to come up for some reason. So sorry, my thing is being really weird, but I can see, and I don't think it's a 615 podcast. But anyway, so let's skip over all that. I think that your take on it is very strong. I am one of those people who are going to completely disagree with you on that. I think that the Tennessee Titans runs around Derrick Henry. And yes, the Titans did something with Eddie George, but I also think that the Titans learned their lesson from that. And if Derrick Henry goes out and plays subpar, just not the same Derrick Henry we know, then yeah, I would agree with you. However, if Derrick Henry goes out here and he balls out, the Titans are going to keep him. And that's a safe bet. Especially with Tannehill's contract, the majority of his payout will be up at the end of this year. So I'm not sure how much we'd have to pay him next year. Do you know? Tannehill?
I'm not sure on Tannehill, but I do know that right now Derrick Henry is the highest paid running back in the NFL. And the fact they did not extend him is what I'm really looking at. They did not extend him past 2023, so in March, when the season ends completely, he will be a free agent. Also, I do want to remind you that Eddie George is running at the top of his game when the Titans let him go, and the front office people are not the same, so I don't know how they could have learned any lessons if they weren't here at the time that they let Eddie George go.
Well, you can learn by, learning from people's mistakes in the past. So, I mean, I'm sure that they have reasoning behind it. I'm sure that Derrick Henry is wanting a particular type of contract, and they just wanted to make sure that Derrick Henry was getting paid what he deserved to be getting paid after how he's been performing over the last 3 seasons. So yes, you restructure that, you give the man what he's worth now, and then you say, okay, look, we're going to do this for you now, and then when we get in the off season, we're going to put together a contract that works best for both of us. And need I remind you, Derrick Henry has a lot of stake here in Nashville, and he's invested. Derrick Henry already took a home team discount, because he wanted to stay here and play for the Tennessee Titans. And if Derrick Henry goes out there and balls out and is still the number 1 running back in the NFL, I'm sure when it comes down to crossing the T's and dotting the I's and doing the contract, Derrick Henry will be willing to work out a deal with the Tennessee Titans, because it's obvious this is where he wants to be and play.
This is where AJ wanted to be. I mean, it's all a business.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I really don't want to get into the whole AJ thing. If AJ wanted to be here, AJ would have never cut off communication with John Robinson. He would have never cut off communication with Mike Vrabel. He would have talked out the contract. He would have said, okay, yeah, they lowballed me this first time, but I'm gonna play hardball back with them. But no, AJ really wanted out. He wanted to go play with his best buddy over there at Philadelphia. So I disagree with that. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, let's get on to our last topic here for tonight, and we are going to be talking about well, actually, we had already talked about that. So let's end this video talking about Josh Gordon. I know you briefly mentioned him earlier. So April, what is your thoughts on Josh Gordon coming to the Tennessee Titans?
He's a practice squad player. That's where he is.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so was Devontae Foreman and Adrian Peterson and all of them last year too. But that's how Mike Vrabel
Adrian
and John
Peterson
Robinson.
was not on a practice squad. He was not on a team.
AP was on our team.
He was not on a practice squad.
No, he was.
He was on the
No,
practice squad for one day because of his contract.
when they brought him in, him and Devontae Foreman both got promoted at the same time. Both of them spent a little over 3 or 4 days on the practice squad.
Yeah, but that's because of technicalities, not because of where they belong.
What I'm saying though, it's not because of just technicalities. What they were doing was bringing them in and seeing if they were going to be able to pick up the playbook and show them what they need to see. And even Mike Vrabel said that's what they were doing last year in the press conference. And I think what we're seeing here with Josh Gordon is somewhat along the lines of the same thing. Is Mike Vrabel and John Robinson wants to see if Josh Gordon can come in here, if he can pick up the playbook, if he can be productive. And, if he shows that, then he'll definitely get promoted off of the practice squad and onto the 53. If you think otherwise, then all I gotta say is go back and watch Titans football last year or the year before and see how many times players on our practice squad got elevated into the game because of how they performed. So if he gets out there and he earns it, yeah, I definitely see him making the
Titans played
doing
91 players last year. Okay.
Yeah,
You
but
could have gotten on the practice squad and played.
okay, well, you exclude last year then. Scratch last year. You go back to the year before and the year before that. There are players who we would bring in off the practice squad at some point, and they would actually get a chance on the field.
That's what the practice squad is for.
Yes,
that's what it's for.
Yes,
that's why it's for.
and so what I'm saying is that I don't think it's a coincidence that he's on the practice squad right now. That is how he has to start out to show that he's going to be able to get the playbook. He's going to be able to get the plays, Then he'll go from the practice squad onto the 53, where he'll probably start out with the 3s and the 2s, getting catching passes from Malik. And then if he continues to show development or progression, he'll work his way on up to being, possibly one on the field. But I seriously doubt that because we have as long as Treylon Burks and Robert Woods, and I think honestly the only reason we bring Josh Gordon in is because if we do have another injury, especially at receiver, and it's someone like Robert Woods or Treylon Burks or Kyle Phillips, Titans could be in trouble. And, we're already in kind of trouble on defense now that with the loss of Harold Landry, but I think, there are a few people out there who the Titans could bring in to be a good, suitable fill-in, like we talked about earlier for that. And also, Don't Leave from the 615 podcast also said, don't be sleeping on Rashad Reaver. So Reaver could be a good fill-in for Harold Landry, so that's going to be something interesting. But I think, no matter what, whoever comes in, whether it's Josh Gordon or somebody who's going to be filling in for Harold Landry, they're going to start on the practice squad and have to show their way, and work their way up. That's what Mike Vrabel has done. I think that's very Tennessee Titans football to me. All right, guys. So with all that being said, we want to take the time just to thank everybody for tuning in to What's Shaking Titans. Real quick, we have a huge announcement for next week's episode. We will not be having a episode next week. We are taking the week off because Titans football starts Saturday, September 11th. And if you come live, if you want to check out that game or check us out, we do a live
Sunday, September 11th.
Sunday, September 11th. At I believe the game will actually start at 3:25 p.m. We will be going live for that game at around I think 2:45 or 2. We'll probably go live at 2:30, so that way we can have time to kind of talk about what we want to see, who we're excited to see, stuff like that. And maybe break some news to y'all if we have any news. But that will definitely be coming y'all's way. So be checking us out for our live game, post-game coverage of the New York Giants versus the Tennessee Titans on September 11th. But as I said, guys, we will not be having a episode next week. I got to take some time off to kind of rest and get caught back up with my family and everything like that, because we've been putting a lot of time into this podcast, and as well as what I do outside of the podcast. So just want to take some time to spend with my family, and I'm going to do that before the start of our season. So our next live episode will be a YouTube exclusive, and that will be our live game post-game coverage. And then we will be coming back to y'all the following Thursday, live on Facebook and YouTube for our weekly episodes of What's Shaking Titans. With all that being said, guys, I do believe that's everything I had to announce. We thank y'all for taking the time, for tuning into What's Shaking Titans. As always, if you have not checked us out on all of our social media platforms, we have a Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. You can check and find links to all of our different social media platforms in the descriptions below. Check us out on all of our platforms. Each platform has something unique that we bring to it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all later. Hope everyone has a blessed day.